This is a box. This is a very long box. A very long box. What is this box? It is the AWOL Vision FlowRise UST ALR screen. Oh.
Jeez, careful. Wow. Whoa, hey.
Cutting and removing protective shipping pieces is so fun.
Nice.
Taking stuff out of a box is fun.
All right, inside the box, we got a little box. I'm guessing it's accessories. Yeah, big old power cable, remote control. Actually, let's take a look at this. That's about it. Up, down, and a circle in the middle. I mean, what else do you need with a projector screen? It goes up, it goes down. Ta-da! USB flash drive. Not exactly sure what it's for. Maybe it's for updates or something. And adhesive pads. So if you're going to set this screen on top of an entertainment center or something and you want to protect that entertainment center, just pop these bad boys on. And yeah, you're good to go. Nice and spongy. And that's it for the accessories box. Get this plastic off.
Get that plastic out of the way. Get that plastic out.
We've got this protective kind of sticker stuff covering the part where the screen actually comes out. And by the looks of it, since this is the AWOL Vision logo, I'm assuming this is the front. Of course, I've got it turned around. All right, so on this end, this is where we have the power cable inlet, power switch, and you've also got the button that lets you go up and down on the unit itself, not just the remote. So that's good.
Hey, moving the chairs around, moving the furniture, cause the screen is so huge.
All right, let's get this protective film off. Jeez, so long. Ta-da! Wow. And away we go.
Are you not entertained? How could you not be entertained? The average consumer has a TV size of 65 inches. 120 inches is roughly twice that size. Come on. Look at it. Look at its size.
All right, as you can see, this bottom portion here, that's black or like dark gray. You can see that it is acoustically transparent. Let's see me wave my hand behind. So that way, if you have, you know, a left, center, and right speaker in your home theater system, you could technically put it behind this screen and have it play the audio through it without any interference or anything. So that's a pretty nice touch. I do appreciate the fact that they give you that option with this screen. Oh, and by the way, that acoustic transparent section is pretty much a foot, 13 inches, so just over a foot. And now you might be thinking, Elon, that's great. You got a screen, it's gigantic, it's 120 inches diagonally, but you need something to project an image on it. A gigantic screen without a projector is just a wall. Well, I'm glad you asked. This, my friends, is the 4K Trichroma laser projector LTV 2500, also from AWOL Vision. So we're gonna open this up too and project it onto the screen. Haha! Supports 4K HDR, DLP from Texas Instruments, Dolby Atmos, and DTS Virtual X. Just a projector on its own. All right, lots of goodies inside that come with this projector, so let's check them out. Okay, we got a clear plastic bag. Literature. Whoa, that's a lot. It's thick. Main power cable. Old school yellow, red, and white video and audio cable. You know, maybe have a really old school gaming system like a PlayStation 1. Who knows? So, AWOL has you covered. Remote control. Wow, looks pretty slick. It's like this metallic aluminum. Actually, these kind of, I don't know if you can see this, but it kind of looks like rose gold. It's not just gray or silver. And it does come with batteries. Nice. Microfiber cloth for wiping it down. I appreciate that. You can sign up to get an extended 1-year warranty. Cool. All right, just so you're not left out and wondering how you're gonna stream anything to this projector, like if, say, you don't have anything like a receiver hooked up to it where you can just plug other components into the receiver itself. AWOL does include with this projector the Fire TV Stick 4K Max. Now, this normally does not come with it, but I did ask for the upgrade to include 3D glasses. These are DLP Link 3D glasses from Texas Instruments, because I do have some 3D Blu-rays in my collection. You know, I've watched them before on my 65-inch LG TV that's been in my theater for ever since I built it, but I've never had the chance to experience 3D on something this big, 120 inches. Come on now. And you'll notice in the box itself is a charging cable because, yeah, these glasses do in fact have a charging port in the nose of the glasses, the bridge. So these do in fact need to be charged because of the technology that's used to create the 3D image. Do I look cool?
No.
Excited to try that out. La. Just a reminder, this is an ultra short throw projector. So this is the projector itself. It's actually a little bit lighter than I thought it would be, but it still looks pretty friggin' cool. All right, just taking a look at the back. We've got this power inlet here, SPDIF input, service USB port, USB-A port, Ethernet port for more reliable internet connectivity. I do appreciate that. 3.5mm AV input for that old school adapter that I showed you. This HDMI input here is the ARC input, or eARC it supports. And here's another input for whatever you want. Now, if you have a setup like mine where obviously the projector is going to be in front of the screen and then you've got outlets on either side, it's kind of inconvenient having the Fire Stick if you need to plug it into power, because then you have to once again figure out where you're going to do that. But there's actually a workaround to that, something that AWOL thought of, providing you with the Fire Stick, a convenient way to use the Fire Stick without having to worry about plugging it into some external power source. So let me show you, it's on the back of the unit itself. All right, so this is the eARC port. It's technically labeled HDMI 2, and the one next to it is labeled HDMI 3. So where's HDMI 1? Well, this little panel here actually opens. There's a eject icon here, just press it, and then it opens. Oh, look at this. I've already got the Fire TV Stick in there, but what's cool is that it already comes with this USB power cable connected in here. So that's where it gets its power from. You don't have to plug it in externally somewhere else. So you just plug in the power cable there, and then plug it into HDMI 1 in the hidden compartment. Oh my goodness. So then you've got your media sources through the Fire TV Stick, and you don't have to worry about plugging it into power because it has power through the USB cable. Let's put that back in, press it again, and you're good. So cool. But say you do have it hooked up to eARC and you're actually running the audio out to a receiver like I am, but you don't have a streaming device like an Apple TV 4K, whatever, you can still opt to use the Fire TV Stick in a more traditional sense where you just plug it into the receiver, because in the box itself that it comes with, you've got your little remote for the Fire TV and you've got a USB power cord, so you can plug that in to like a little outlet that's near the receiver. And if you got a lot of peripherals hooked into your AV receiver, it does come with this little handy HDMI extension so that you can plug the Fire TV Stick into here and then have this little flexible bit here in case you need to get it around to actually fit into wherever you need to plug it into. Options. I love options, and they definitely give you plenty. And just so you're aware, this is the internal box of the Fire TV Stick. And they do, in fact, in this little corner, have a power brick that the USB connector plugs into if you want to plug this into an outlet in a more traditional way. But it also comes with batteries for the Fire TV Stick remote. Hooray! All right, so in order to access the Fire TV Stick, you do have to sign in with your Amazon account. If you don't already have one, it is free to sign up, but you do get a little bit more perks if you do have a Prime account, because Prime Video does come free with a Prime account. You've got my stuff. You can even play games now, which is pretty cool. Search, there's a bunch of free TV options if you want, live TV, and then your various streaming platforms that you frequent, even new, just your typical media streaming service. But again, I do appreciate that they provide you with this option if you literally have nothing else to access any of your streaming platforms, etc. A couple of specs I want to highlight is that it does support 4K UHD picture quality as well as Dolby Vision HDR. Besting its competitors in the same price range, the LTV 2500 has a Ricoh f2.0 lens, delivering top-notch detail and sharpness. It's also one of the few UST projectors out there that supports true 24 frames per second picture, which is the standard frame rate when watching movies, of course. Yes, the LTV 3500 Pro is the flagship from AWOL Vision, but the LTV 2500 is a fantastic deal for all the features it has, especially with Prime Day deals coming up soon. In fact, as of this recording, it is currently on sale for an incredible $2199, down from $2,999. And AWOL Vision even offers free returns within 30 days, just FYI. Something to consider for sure. And as I showed you in the unboxing portion, I did upgrade to have the 3D glasses sent with the unit itself, but to be able to see it on a gigantic screen like this, 120 inches, it is a completely different experience. So of course, you know, the go-to would be Avatar, because 3D was in mind with James Cameron when he was creating Avatar, both the original and The Way of Water sequel. But just so you know, with the 3D glasses, they can actually cause the picture to dim just slightly. I would suggest having the darkest room possible, you know, just more cinematic that way. So that way you can get the best experience watching a 3D movie. But the picture quality looked fantastic. The popping out of the 3D visuals. But at first I wasn't sure if it would translate that well in 3D on such a large projection like this, but it passed with flying colors. The 3D is definitely worth it if you happen to have some 3D Blu-rays in your collection. All right, so after the unboxing, after going through the setup, after watching 3D content, after watching video games, I'm impressed just how easy it was to just kind of set it up. The calibration, yeah, it wasn't like exact. Hopefully that's going to change in the future, because I did also ask for the Vision Station, which is the proprietary channel that you can put the screen in, but then you can also house the projector itself. So that way the projector is the distance it needs to be away from the screen. So yeah, you just kind of have to move it back and forth, left and right, swivel it a little bit to get it right on the money, but not too difficult in the end. When I was playing video games, fast-paced things like that required high frame rates, it seemed to do pretty darn good. And it also has what's called turbo mode, where it can do 4K 60 and 1080p at 120 frames per second. Because obviously projectors are for your picture quality and having a gigantic picture. So it's probably going to take some more time or a lot more money to spend if you really want to have a projector that can handle next-gen gaming. But for what it's worth, when I was playing my Nintendo Switch, there may have been just maybe a couple milliseconds of lag time between when I was actually pressing buttons to what I saw happen on the screen, but nothing to the point where it was affecting my gameplay. Talking about brightness, the LTV 2500 obviously did better in a darker room when I turned off all the lights, closed all the blinds and everything. But even with shades open and lights on, the LTV 2500 did a pretty darn good job at creating a bright enough picture where it wasn't just totally muted and looked terrible. It still did have a slightly washed out look with all the lights on. But again, once I turned off all the lights and brought the shades down, then the picture quality was great. So obviously that is the environment that it is most ideal, because honestly, I bet a lot of you out there are planning to put something like this that could project such a huge picture into some sort of dedicated theater or man cave or something where it's probably going to be dark anyway. And to hit on this again, the 3D aspect is really cool. I mean, just the fact that it even supports 3D is incredible. If you are one of the, small percentage of people out there like myself who still enjoys a 3D Blu-ray from time to time. Speaking of the Cinematic Plus ALR motorized screen, again, that thing is just ginormous, super simple to set up. All you gotta do is plug it into the power and then press the button that makes it go up, and it just automatically stops once it gets to its peak height. The motor itself is fairly quiet. It wasn't all that obnoxiously loud or anything, which is cool. But one tiny little gripe I have with it is that there were just slight wrinkles in the fabric itself. But again, it's in the lower corners. You're not really going to be looking directly at those corners anyway, so it's not like it took me out of any scene or whatever. Because usually you're just looking straight at the center of the center. So at no point did it actually bother me like, oh man, I can see those wrinkles in that shot or anything. I really just notice it when nothing is playing and it's just the blank screen itself. And so it's not a deal breaker whatsoever, but I just thought I should let you know about that at least. I know it does support Dolby Atmos and DTS Virtual X because there are built-in speakers in the projector itself, but just like a TV, I wouldn't recommend playing audio through the projector itself unless it was absolutely necessary or that's really all you had for the time being before ordering a soundbar or a proper speaker system with a receiver, whatever. But again, I do appreciate that they even offer that option just in case you need it, because not everybody will already have a soundbar or a speaker system. So if you decide to purchase the projector and the screen first, at least you can have some sound before upgrading other components to your home theater. And again, lastly, I like how they included the Fire TV stick and how it's got that little hidden compartment in the back. So yes, while it's not absolutely perfect, they do provide you with a lot of easy setup for those who don't want to hassle with some sort of projector where you have to mount it to the ceiling and then mess with the calibration process for that, which is a little bit more involved. This way, you just get a screen, you plop the LTV 2500 in front of it, make some minor adjustments, and boom, you're up and running. So really cool. I like that a lot. So if this interests you, having the theater literally in your living room or your man cave or your dedicated home theater space, set up as a breeze with a gigantic picture size that I personally have never dealt with, especially in this living room, then yeah, there are links in the description below to where you can get yours today if you'd like. So there you have it, folks. Have you been on the fence or even care about ultra short throw projectors like this one? Had you even heard of AWOL Vision previous to this? If you had the 120-inch motorized screen and an ultra short throw projector like the LTV 2500, where would you put it? Let's start a conversation in the comments below. As always, this world is crazy as it is already, so it only makes sense to be kind to one another out there. Don't just watch TV and movies, bring the theater to your home literally with AWOL Vision products. And of course, always be listening.